There's a lovely photograph, a couple of old photographs actually, where you can see Dolly Wise and Blanche Eyre and Audrey Bowden as teenagers, aren't they?
Oh no, that's the one you got that one. I've got this one here, standing at the top of, just outside where the pub was, and that's the three of them. Then there's also the one looking down with the policeman outside. That because Blanche Eyre was sister to her twin sister Audrey Bowden. And they were both teachers, but they were both untrained teachers. They sort of came through the school system. And if there was a thing then as monitors, or they trained on the job, they came all the way through and taught beautifully till about 1956, 57, when the government decided that everybody should be a trained teacher, and hence they had to lose their jobs. And Audie lived in where the Shepherds had the house in the square there. And they were twins.
And they were great buddies with Dolly Wise, weren't they?
Dolly Wise was a sister of Ronald Bowden. And she was married obviously to Mr. Wise, and she had two sons, Eric by the first husband and Geoffrey by the second one. And Bryant will tell you the story of Geoffrey Wise, and Geoffrey will say it himself. When he was born, my mother and my grandmother in particular, both being midwives, they would see people into the world, and they'd see a lot of them out. And when Geoffrey Wise was born, my grandmother went there and had been delivered, and she heard something rustling, wrapped up in brown paper under the bed, because he was born with a slightly withered leg, and they thought he was dead. And my grandmother picked him up and brought him back to life again. And Geoffrey always says that he owes his life to Mrs. Holland, my grandmother. So it was those things like that, and they used to lay them out to when he died. And then there was Mary Bowden. So on the walk down to the top of Stonechest every day.
Down to the top of?
Stonechest Hill. Stonechest. Beyond Parkgate, the deep one going down to Howard's Mill. That's real name is Stonechest Hill. But it was always called the top of Stonechest. Every day there'd be Blanche Eyre, Audie Bowden, Dolly Wise and Mary Bowden. And Mary was the widow of Ronald Bowden from Huxford. Yeah? And she was no relation to Audie Bowden, who was the daughter of old Mrs. Bowden, who lived in the square. You with me still? And they would start off and walk down to us, and it would go Blanche, then Mary Bowden, and then Dolly Wise, then Audie Bowden, because Blanche and Audie, although twin sisters, didn't speak very much to each other. And every day down to the top of Stonechest and then back again. And that was them, and they used to go on holiday together, the four of them, on bus trips to Scotland, and apparently Blanche and Audie said they would never go with Dolly again because she embarrassed them so. Because the last time they went to the hotel, she asked the hotel manager to line the staff up outside the hotel as they were leaving. So he thought, hello, there's a big tip going on here. He lined them all up like in Downton Abbey, and Dolly went along and shook hands with them all and then got on the bus.